face, surrounded by blood. Just a moment later, Kyle released the boy, telling him that such fighting spirit was normal for his age and that he should learn something new and come to Kyle again. He added that if he came back,
Can't get bogged, bro. Holy fuck, these niggas is doing damage, dog. Look at that. I don't know, Ali. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. Fucking ass. That's what I needed, bro. such a dickhead, bro. What the fuck? You need coconuts? Oh, you give me fucking coconuts, man. Oh, what? Bro. Oh my god.
You might have a different exchange magnitude or down here in levels and also some stories, but these are both true. Trick two, although you can mention more exoplanets, these are these are this bishop is one of the most powerful holy men of the Empire, answers directly to the Pope and commands exorcism squad.
I'm just there's some nice like ballet music. It looked like we're doing a little dance, and then he just turned and stared at you, non-movingly, and now he's occasionally gyrating just a little bit. It's like, is this like a mating ritual? Is he trying to seduce you?
The bottle is too big, so he's trapped in the genetic loop.
I'm trying to use logic to explain the funny thing about it. Because he wants to do with you.
He does have a ring. But why? Why have you let me in?
Sorry, my
Fuck.
Knowledge is power. It can be the sword that strikes down an enemy, or it can be the very thing that kills. Zachary quickly gathered firewood, trying to distract himself by thinking about trips with his new girlfriend and family back when he was a kid. He firmly tossed aside the flimsy, weak branches, suddenly feeling like a reluctant woodcutter. Zachary stretched his limbs for a moment, figuring his dad must have gone to buy wood too, though he had to admit, being alone in
What is going on, everyone? Joe here, and today we are jumping back into the world of Void Reaver, an inventory management survivor. So the build crafting in this game is insane. There's a ton of different items and different synergies you can try to set up. We got a bunch of different characters we can play as, and they just dropped the new demo with a brand new character, Xylo the Biomancer. So in the last video, we won as I the Commando, the melee character, but
So, my fellas, don't forget to leave feedback and enjoy the story. This world had become a dumping ground, where monsters roam, intent on destroying civilization. The creatures cared nothing for conventional weapons. Humanity's last hope was the chosen few, possessing unbalanced skills. The strongest among them was Kay, our protagonist. But even he wasn't omnipotent. When he was betrayed by an influential lord, he found himself trapped with dozens of monsters. And so Kay died. Fortunately, he managed to return to the past, to the time before the apocalypse. MC was reborn as an infant. Everything around him seemed unreal, but knowledge about monsters was new. So, my fellas, don't forget to leave feedback and enjoy the story. This world had become a dark world, where monsters roam, intent on destroying civilization. The creatures cared nothing for conventional weapons. Humanity's last hope was the chosen few, possessing unbalanced skills. The strongest among them was Kay, our protagonist. But even he wasn't omnipotent. When he was betrayed by an influential lord, he found himself trapped with dozens of monsters. And so Kay died. Fortunately, he managed to return to the past, to the time before the apocalypse. MC was reborn as an infant. Everything around him seemed unreal, but knowledge about monsters remained with his memory. Here, he could use his ultimate power, with which he had absorbed the powers and abilities of the creatures he had killed in the past. Then suddenly, his mother entered his room. Still thinking like a hunted man, he demands to know who is there. A looming shadow makes him fear that someone from the organization has somehow trapped him even here. The figure reaches in gently instead of attacking. A red-haired woman appears and warmly claims him as her child, calling herself his mother. That tenderness leaves him completely stunned. As he takes in the peaceful room and the woman's ordinary behavior, he struggles to understand what kind of world this is. When the television comes on, the normal domestic scene feels even more unreal to him. Hearing casual voices outside and seeing no sign of monsters, he starts to suspect this world is untouched by the disaster he made. He concludes that he has been reincarnated into another timeline where the great cataclysm never happened and the organization does not exist. That realization leads straight to one overwhelming conclusion. For the first time, he accepts that he is truly free from the godlike authority that once owned him. Then he notices the date and fixes on a calendar marked 2020. The year shocks him because it means he has landed before the great cataclysm ever began. His triumph immediately sours when he remembers that, as a baby, he cannot do anything with the body of Israel. Refusing to surrender his pride, he insists that he is still the great Lord Kay. He tries to prove it by standing up through sheer determination. Instead, he topples over and realizes he has been reborn so early that he has not even learned to stand yet. When he tries to speak, his strange infant toe betrays him too, leaving him even more trapped in his tiny body. Trapped in a helpless infant body, he panics because every second matters. He briefly considers depending on the red-haired woman who appears to be his mother. He immediately rejects trust and decides he will only use her if she has any practical value. He tests that hope by watching her move around the house, but agility is clearly not one of her strengths. Her fumbling convinces him she is no better with her hands. When she nearly starts a fire, he concludes she is catastrophically incompetent. Even her reassurance while cooking sounds like a disaster waiting to happen, and he feels doomed already. He collapses in frustration, realizing the road ahead with his caretaker will be miserable. The delivery arrives, and she goes to answer it while he watches from the crib. She remembers too late that receiving a package means direct contact and payment. Her confusion over the delivery makes him realize how long she has been cut off from normal life. He quickly connects the danger, knowing a courier would have been exposed to many people. The thought that the delivery man might be infected jolts him into alarm. As the door opens, he senses something is terribly wrong before he even sees the visitor. A cough confirms his fear that the threat has already reached their home. The supposed package is revealed to be a trap delivered by something monstrous. A box is thrust inside as if to lure him to accept the danger. The courier mutates into a grotesque monster and angrily forces the package on them. Its tendrils flood the apartment, turning the room into a killing ground while he lies trapped in the crib. Refusing to die quietly, he steels himself to fight back somehow. He desperately searches for anything nearby that can become a weapon. He grabs the only thing within reach, a pillow. Knowing it is pathetic, he throws it anyway because he has no better option. Before his plan can matter, one of the monster's attacks tears toward him. The strike rips through the crib and nearly kills him on the spot. He is thrown free with the baby bottle still in hand, barely surviving the blast. Another tendril attack slices across the room. Proving any direct contact means death. He realizes even brushing against that attack will kill his fragile body. Drawing out memories from his previous life, he assesses the situation like a veteran monster fighter. He identifies the creature as a power-type monster built around overwhelming force. Its raw strength is dangerous, but the head tendrils are the real problem. He considers risking a move for the bottle as part of the plan. The bottle comes apart, giving him a small piece he might be able to use. The monster's footing catches on the bottle, just enough to disrupt its movement. That confirms his read that this type is bad at tight turns, and he can exploit that weakness. He watches the creature crash through the wall and recognizes the opening he needed. For the first time, he smiles with confidence instead of panic. He bitterly admits the brutal battles of his past life are now the only reason he can survive this. Then something impossible appears behind him. A weapon from his former life answering his need. The summoned weapon pierces the monster's core with a single decisive strike. Instead of vanishing, the weapon begins consuming the core. He stares in shock as he recognizes what has manifested. He realizes this is one of his own abilities from before reincarnation. The weapon is the tail of Tautai, a power he once possessed. That discovery shatters everything he thought he knew about his rebirth and the timeline of the coming cataclysm. Unable to explain any of it, he gives up on understanding and focuses on the opportunity. He remembers that the tail of Tautai can absorb the monster's crystal core and convert it into his own power. So he decides to test whether he can use that stolen power now. The absorbed energy answers immediately, proving his awakening has begun absurdly early. Compared to his past life, where he awakened at 7 and still reached rank S, this is on another level entirely. He smugly concludes that his current potential may be beyond even legendary rank. For a moment, he indulges in fantasies of future greatness and domination. Convinced he no longer needs this place, he prepares to leave Elvis. But the moment he tries, reality interrupts his grand exit. His infant body refuses to cooperate, and he cannot even move properly. His struggle only cracks the furniture instead of freeing it. That tiny result reminds him how little control he still has. Worse, the damaged crib starts tipping toward him. His mother rushes in and calls out to save him. He braces helplessly as the danger closes in. A memory surfaces of his former life, when humiliation and starvation reduced him to eating dog food. He remembers being mocked as the organization's obedient dog. That old rage resurfaces, and he rejects being treated like a pet ever again. He wakes groggily from the aftermath of the fight. He realizes he must have blacked out. Seeing his mother beside him, he wonders if she was the one who saved him. He concludes the strain came from forcing too much power from the baby's body, and that he can only endure it for about 30 seconds. That limitation hardens his resolve to grow stronger as fast as possible. A small sound pulls his attention back to the present. He notices his mother quietly crying over a heavily marked diary. The notes reveal she has filled the diary with reminders about her child, and he begins to suspect he is the treasure she learned. Her grief is real, not performative. He realizes the bruise on her body may have come from protecting him during the attack. That clashes with his own memories of a mother who would have sold him to the organization without hesitation. Accepting that this woman is different, he decides to stay with her a little longer. Even so, he knows time is running out because the world is about to change within days. He predicts the next monster will appear very soon and very close by. His prediction proves correct when the bunker outside suddenly begins transforming. The man melts into a blue slime-like creature. He forces himself to stay calm and think ahead, even as his mother calls for him. Before he can act, she excitedly tries to show him something new. She proudly reveals a huge dog the neighbor gave him as if it were a perfect gift for a baby. He is too stunned to react at first. Then he recognizes the animal as Revan, the fierce dog from his previous life. He immediately sees that the dog is far too large for a child, confirming his mother's terrible judgment. But the more he thinks about it, the more useful the dog seems. He starts to warn the idea. If trained properly, the dog could become both a combat asset and transportation. He decides an adult dog might actually be an excellent investment. His first step is simple: feed it and begin establishing authority. He offers food with the confidence of someone genuinely supportive. The dog's ranking expression makes him doubt it understands any of this. Still, he encourages it to eat, already imagining its future usefulness. He grandly declares that he will train the beast himself. The dog immediately knocks him over instead, leaving him mocked and humiliated. It turns away without the slightest respect. Furious, he realizes this stubborn one will not submit easily. His mother misreads the chaos as friendship and happily assumes they have bonded. While she cooks, she discovers she is out of flour. The dog and child are still wrestling in the next crisis in lives. As she searches for replacement flour, danger closes in from behind her. The blue slime monster slips into the apartment to the kitchen. Reckon notices first and charges without hesitation. The dog launches itself straight at the intruder. The slime swells to meet the attack. Reckon clamps onto the man's clothing and yanks her away from the monster's reach. That rescue knocks her clear just as the slime surges to the kitchen. She is left confused while the dog keeps barking a warning at the unseen threat. He judges the slime weaker than the previous monster, but still troublesome because of its nature. Its liquid body makes ordinary cutting and stabbing nearly useless. Reckon keeps itself between the slime and his mother, acting as a guard. But the slime engulfs the dog. It starts changing shape around him. He recognizes the transformation and remembers that this monster's weakness is dryness, though exploiting it will be difficult. He searches frantically for anything in the room that can help. Then he spots the baby bottle and realizes it can become a key to a trap. He hurls the bottle's powder into the air like a cloud. The flour coats the slime and clings to its wet body. The moisture reacts violently, forcing the creature into a harder, unstable form.
Its body swells and stiffens as the drying process spreads. Rigid spikes and beams erupt from it, pinning the reed with brittle structures. Just as he expected, the sudden loss of moisture throws the slime into pain. He follows up by trapping the weakened creature under an overturned bucket. Satisfied that the immediate danger is contained, he decides that will do for now. He basks in his success while his mother and the dog lie exhausted in the kitchen. His mother reaches for the flour in the spoke area. She and the dog both end up coughing from the mess, leaving him to admit that he is surrounded by clumsy fools. She complains about her bad luck and goes
Oh shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just witnessed absolute sprinting greatness. At the 2026 Raiffeisen Austrian Open, we got a chance to see some absolute smoke in the women's 100 meters. And one athlete that really brought out some speed was Lamont Marcel Jacobs from Italy, who was on an absolute tear in 2026. Now, some context here. After winning the gold medal in the Tokyo Olympics in 2021 in the 100, where he ran a brand new European record in 9.80, Jacobs has unfortunately struggled with injury over the past few years, falling short of breaking 10 seconds for various seasons over the past couple of years, and it really was difficult to see this man not live up to expectations. However, 2026 is quickly unfolding in a drastically different manner, as he broke 10 in this year's Rome dominant meeting on home soil.
He's actually a good height too, though.
And then the most recent
Because it's the
he proved
the
that
length
he was on a
fucking
solid
pushing
winning streak,
for.
running a time of 9.96 in this race, placing third only behind Noah Lyles and Trayvon Brunel. However, what he just did at this Austrian championship was nothing short of incredible. In the qualifying round, Jacobs found himself in heat number 3, and in the opening 2 heats, we saw Rico Liker, Roman Ansa, and Roman Blade all breaking 10 seconds with very good times, and even some world record 9.0. However, the wind was over the allowable limit of 3.1 and 3.0 meters per second, so these times were wind assisted. But regardless, breaking 10 in your heat proves that you're in very good shape. And also, it was great to see Vanika breaking 10 seconds once again, because the last time he did this under conditions were in 2017, 9 years ago. So the 400-meter world record is clearly fitness. But moving into heat number 3, this is when Lamont Marcel Jacobs showed up, and this race would prove to be a huge display of speed. Right away, Jacobs got a very solid start, and he was already going to third. And then for the second half, that saw him put even more distance on his feet. And with a blistering finish at 9.84, Jacobs went on to win this race by almost half of a second, which is basically impossible in 100 meters at this level. Now, just like heat number 1 and number 2, this race was wind assisted, but this race was only positive 2.3, meaning that if the wind was neutral at 0.0, this would equate to about a 9.93, and at maximum allowable wind, this would be a 9.85. Clearly, Jacobs is in very solid fitness right now. But the question is, how fast will he go for the final? And will he?
It all started 10 years ago when a mysterious fog suddenly appeared across the entire world. Countless terrifying monsters hidden inside this smoke. These cruel creatures began hunting people down without any mercy. With that, the true dark age for humanity began. Not even the most modern weapons and fighter jets could help. All human military power proved to be completely useless against them. The world was quickly taken over by chaos and destruction, and any normal person who stepped into the fog turned to stone until they perished. If this fog wasn't controlled,
so he needs to do something to fix that before he ends up dying alone.
Having your first home can be challenging. That's why Progressive created the Up Payment Program, down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. Because today, everyone can easily move out with their first home. Learn more at progressive.com/openhouse.
It all started 10 years ago when a mysterious fog suddenly appeared across the entire world. Countless terrifying monsters hidden inside this smoke. These cruel creatures began hunting people down without any mercy. With that, a true dark age for humanity began. Not even the most modern weapons and fighter jets could help. All human military power proved to be completely useless against them. The world was quickly taken over by chaos and destruction, and any normal person who stepped into the fog turned to stone until they perished. If this fog wasn't contained, it would spread across the entire planet. The threat grew more and more, rapidly consuming the continents, until finally the entire Earth ended up covered in darkness. But in this apocalyptic world, beings chosen by God emerged, called Bearers. Only warriors with exceptional skills could defeat the monsters of the fog. They needed to enter dungeons and clear out all the beasts to make the fog disappear. Because of this, these hunters became humanity's sole and fragile hope. During a battle in the city, a group tries to defeat a giant wolf to clear the fog. During the fight, the team's warrior ends up taking a devastating hit to the chest. His companions are shocked to see the severity of the injury, but they take advantage of the distraction to finish off the wolf with a powerful magic strike. The hunters celebrate the victory and say that using their teammate as bait was the best decision. They abandon the boy on the ground and leave without caring about his life. At that moment, someone else's consciousness begins to awaken inside that body. The young man wakes up completely confused while struggling to breathe. He only remembered working late and nodding off for a brief moment. But looking at his reflection, he realizes that face and body didn't belong to him. Suddenly, a terrible headache hits him with immense force. Strange memories of monsters and fog begin to flood his mind. He soon realizes he's reincarnated into another world and taken over the body of a bearer. From the memories, he understands he was discarded in a dungeon by his own team. The protagonist gets annoyed that he turned into a warrior who only serves as a human shield. But he gets a huge surprise when he sees a glowing screen floating in front of him. A reward system is activated, allowing him to choose his own prizes. He is in total shock because he had never heard of such an overpowered ability before. Excited, he concludes that this is the best possible reincarnation to get strong fast. Without wasting time, the young man quickly selects a rare sword and high-rank armor. The system congratulates him and displays the incredible stats of his new gear. He holds the sword, amazed by the quality of the item he just got. The young man realizes he obtained in one single go what would take others years to achieve. With this system by his side, he feels that nothing will stop his continuous growth. Leaving the dungeon, he reflects on the constant danger that exists in the world, and he decides to use his new ability to fight and survive as a true bearer. His biggest goal now is to level up more and more to become the strongest hunter. Walking through the city, he notices that the place looks a lot like his original world. The young man then catches a bus to go to his new home and try to plan his next steps. But the peaceful ride is interrupted when a thick fog appears on the avenue. The vehicle's alarm goes off immediately, warning of the deadly danger of the fog. The passengers panic, desperate desperate over the chance of being attacked. Knowing that ordinary people wouldn't last long there, he decides to act to save everyone. The hunter stands up and shouts, asking everyone to stay calm in their seats. Meanwhile, the driver hits the gas, trying to drive through the fog quickly. But the boy spots a danger approaching and widens his eyes in fear. Suddenly, a powerful energy beam cuts through the entire side of the bus. The vehicle flips over, and the civilians despair since only bearers can fight. They lose hope, thinking there is no hero around. But to everyone's surprise, the young hunter stands up from the wreckage. He faces the destruction and speaks out loud, revealing that he is a pharaoh. One of the passengers cries tears of relief, begging him to handle the monsters. The man says backup is on the way, and the young man smiles, wanting to test his weapon. The civilian asks about his class, and is left in disbelief upon finding out he is level 1. The passenger's smile vanishes instantly at this disappointing revelation. Everyone goes into a frenzy, claiming he won't survive against a level 2 beast. In that world, the warrior class was considered the weakest and most useless of all. Ignoring the insults, the protagonist activates his combat mode with great confidence. He raises his arm and immediately equips his new rank a magic armor. A powerful energy surrounds his body, leaving the young man ready for battle. At that moment, a giant rhinoceros monster emerges, shattering the asphalt. The hunter summons his newly acquired rank as sword, which glows intensely. He charges forward, knowing his new items grant him massive extra strength. The boy takes a massive leap and prepares a devastating strike against the monster. The beast tries to attack, but the magic blade hits its body with brutal power. The hunter slices the colossal creature right down the middle with extreme ease, landing unharmed. He is certain that the new system will make him the strongest hunter. The young man looks back, quite proud of the damage caused by his sword. Right after, another monster emerges from the ground, but also receives a fatal strike. The full creature is taken down instantly, spilling essence across the battlefield. The survivors are shocked to see a simple warrior winning so easily. While people admire him, the young man labors not getting extra rewards. He sheathes his sword and leaves, waving calmly to the rescued civilians. A girl watches the hero depart, thinking he would be an excellent recruit. The official rescue team finally arrives at the scene, wanting to understand everything. The heavy-set passenger explains stumblingly that it was a level 1 warrior. The girl remains intrigued, suspecting that the young man possessed a special item. In the late afternoon, the protagonist finally manages to get to his apartment, but he finds his door completely covered in spray paint with scary collection threats. An intimidating lone shark appears in the hallway, smiling to see that the boy didn't run away. The hunter searches his memories and discovers that the previous owner of the body owed a lot. This former kid had spent a fortune trying to buy items and failed. The protagonist clenches his fists in anger while the pub demands payment. The lone shark mocks him, saying the total debt reaches an absurd $5 million. The criminal warns that he will return in 3 days to take the apartment if he doesn't get paid. The young man steps inside with a sigh, knowing it's impossible to gather that amount quickly. He grabs his phone in hopes of finding some viable solution to the problem. Browsing a hunter app, he sees various buy and sell listings. The young man realizes he can use the system to get rare items and sell them on the internet. He flashes a confident smile, swearing that no debt will stop his journey. Sitting on the bed, he remembers that there are daily dungeons perfect for farming. His main plan now is to get much stronger and accumulate expensive treasures. But looking up the prices, he notices that rank S equipment is worth less than $700,000. The long-range weapons on the market wouldn't cover anywhere near his debt. Frustrated, he concludes that he will need to find another way to get the money fast. He remembers his last fight and realizes he has no real reason to feel so afraid. With his new gear, he understands he is more than ready to face level 3 dungeons. Highly determined, the boy taps his phone screen to make a decision. The hunter decides he will enter a dangerous zone the next day to pay off his debt as fast as possible. The next day, the young man goes to the entrance of a level 3 dungeon located in an abandoned area. He reflects that most of the population prefers to live in the city center since it's a safer region. While in more remote and peripheral areas, the dungeons tend to be extremely dangerous, but he doesn't care about the risks because he knows the rewards in these places are much better. Walking through the area, he finds a blue portal indicating a dangerous level 2 cave. Suddenly, a group of hunters recognizes him from the den of asks if he wants to be the team's shield. The protagonist rejects the offer on the spot, remembering they left him behind on the last mission. The team meet the marksman, saying a trash warrior like him should be washing dishes to survive. A girl on the team also humiliates the young man, doubting he can handle the pressure of a level 3 zone. So she ignores the taunts and walks away, remembering the miserable life the original owner of that body had. But now things would be very different with that new reward system by his side. The leader yells furiously, accusing the youth of being a gambling addict who would never pay off his massive debts. Hearing that hits the boy hard, and he throws a deadly look at the loudmouth hunter. He warns coldly that he will soon make that squad pay dearly for abandoning him. After threatening his former companions, the protagonist turns his back with a smile full of confidence. The members of that team are left confused and slightly intimidated by the young man's scary demeanor. They watch him leave, thinking it's completely normal to sacrifice a mere useless warrior during intense battles. Walking a bit further, Sochi finally arrives in front of the imposing portal of his desired level 3 dungeon. The system sends a glowing notification right away, asking if he truly wishes to start that dangerous challenge. Knowing he has no other choice, the hunter advances without fear and steps into the swirling blue magic. The young man crosses the portal's threshold and feels the strange energy of that new, mysterious environment. The scenery around him begins to materialize rapidly, revealing the details of that place. A floating screen indicates his new mission is to wipe out all the bandits in that immense ancient fortress. From afar, he spots some armed criminals guarding the camp entrance with giant swords. The young man notices that the atmosphere inside is quite different from the fog in the real world, looking like another historical dimension. His memories confirm that each dungeon has its own story where bears need to complete specific missions. Suddenly, a group of experienced hunters appears and comments that anyone will listen be a rookie. The leader of that team holds a firearm and asks everyone to reveal their classes and levels openly. The members show their credentials, proving they are level 3 marksmen, healers, and assassins. Sochi reveals he is a level 1 warrior, thinking his presence would complete the perfect group composition. But the other hunters are outraged, asking if a boy with such a low level wants to throw his life away. The team's healer yells furiously, accusing the young man of being dead weight who will only get in everyone's way. Unshaken, the protagonist simply draws his sword, drawing the leader's attention to the quality of his gear. The marksman deduces he is a spoiled rich kid and decides to accept his presence on the team just to test him. Saoshi gives a strange smile, thinking that if he were truly rich, he wouldn't be there risking his life over debts. The leader starts assigning tasks, ordering the assassin to gather intel and the warrior to serve as a human shield. He taps Sochi on the chest, promising that the group's healer would keep him alive during the intense combat. But the protagonist pushes the marksman's hand away, warning that he doesn't plan to act like a fool and rush and blind. He remembers that the old owner of that body lost his life being bait and swears he won't make the same stupid mistake in battle. The boy looks at his new companions and states that he will only take the front line if it is absolutely necessary. The marksman threatens to leave him without heals if he runs from his duties, and the young man accepts the terms calmly. Suddenly, a local resident comes running desperately through the village streets toward the newly arrived hunters. The injured old man begs for help, warning that the violent criminals from the fortress are approaching fast. A massive army of cruel bandits rushes down the mountain with sharp weapons, ready to overwhelm everyone present. The enemies break through the main gates and invade the courtyard, completely surrounding the small group of hunters. The warrior observes his teammates' firearms and internally questions if bandits, using only swords, would really give them that much trouble. The bandits move quickly through the courtyard, dodging gunfire as they advance to attack. Sochi is surprised to notice that their reaction speed is just like that of the fog monsters. The team leader orders the marksmen to fire together to cut off the enemies, escape routes. A hail of bullets hits the ground, pinning down the criminals trying to get close. The protagonist notices that the opponents are very agile, but have very weak defense. One of the bandits takes a huge leap and attacks the healer, who defends herself with a magic shield. The enemy prepares a heavy strike from above while the girl begs for help. But Soshi quickly appears in front of her and blocks the brutal attack using his new sword. The impact of the block generates a bright flash, showing the power of the young man's equipment. The hunter shows the criminal away with extreme ease and massive confidence. The opponent stumbles back, trying to comprehend the absurd strength of that rookie warrior. The bandit begins to break into a cold sweat, completely confused by the unexpected situation. His eyes widen in dread as he senses the impending danger. In the blink of an eye, Soshi delivers a devastating strike and takes down the enemy instantly. The one-eyed marksman smiles, seeing that the rookie won thanks to the absurd power of the rank S sword. In the middle of the courtyard, the young man realizes he has ended up completely surrounded by the rest of the gang. Without showing any fear, he raises his weapon and tells them all to attack at once to get this over with. Suddenly, the barrel of a firearm appears, pointing directly toward the center of the commotion. A powerful shot cuts through the air, grazing right past the warrior's face. The protagonist is starting to feel the small scratch on his cheek and tries to process what happened. Several other shots start raining down in his direction, while the criminals are also startled. His own marksman teammates are firing non-stop into the entire crowd. The young man is outraged to notice that his team is aiming their attacks directly at him. The group leader flashes a malicious smile while continuing to fire without a shred of mercy. The shots hit the boy directly, but the system blocks the damage, only reducing his gear durability. The youth concludes he will be finished without his magic armor and notes how warriors easily become targets. He dodges the volley of bullets and shouts furiously, asking what on earth they think they are doing. One of the marksmen mocks him, saying the kid stepped into the line of fire on his own accord. Soshi plants his feet firmly on the ground, realizing that this team doesn't care about his life at all. Filled with rage, he promises he will show them how awful it feels to be used as a human shield. Soshi warns his teammate that he is about to make him feel exactly what it is like to be used as a human shield. Suddenly, an explosion goes off right behind the warrior, but he does not seem to care about the noise at all. Out of all that dust, a colossal and terrifying warrior emerges, holding heavy chains. The system immediately alerts the team that their new mission is to defeat the terrible fortress boss. The other hunters panic and order the warrior to strike that beast as quickly as possible. Soshi looks at the massive size of the monster without showing any sign of fear or worry about the fight. While the group loses their cool, the sharpshooters begin activating their skills to try and help out. They fire several energy attacks that score direct hits on the giant monster's chest. However, the strikes seem to cause no real damage at all and only manage to make the opponent angry. Soshi quickly realizes that the situation here is much more dangerous than he initially thought. The giant takes a heavy step, cracking the ground and frightening the hunters, who are trying to back away. Next, the colossal creature makes an impressive leap, blocking out the sunlight in the blue sky. The monster comes crashing down, taking out the hunter in the blue cape and making a huge mess everywhere. Soshi realizes that his companion's reckless and foolish actions only serve to make the enemy furious. Even though he is badly hurt, the warrior in the blue cape tries to stand back up in front of the beast. The monster charges to run the young man down, and he starts running away in panic, crying out,
historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Trillions of dollars out around the world are huge. Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well, first, let's get right into today's video. Now, what is Ripple doing joining 140 organizations teaming up on this new stablecoin called OpenUSD? It's all over Twitter. People are talking about it. People are confused. People are now, again, of course, second guessing what RLUSD is going to be, what XRP is going to be. We all know what XRP is. I'm not going to get into details about XRP, but we're going to go over the importance of RLUSD and why this, in my opinion, is actually bullish. And I want your opinions in the comments down below after you guys are done hearing what I have to say. So here's the thing. Is this going to change or replace XRP or RLUSD? I've seen that question earlier today. It's after spending about 35 minutes to 40 minutes reading the announcement, going through everything because I really over Ripple announced yesterday. I think most people are just looking at it the wrong way. Most people are treating this like it's simply another stablecoin entering the market, and it's not. That's not the story here. The story is much bigger than that. Look who's involved, right? We have Visa, we have MasterCard, we have Ripple Airways involved, BlackRock, Google, Shopify, Coinbase, you name it. They're here. They're here. And that's over 140 companies. That isn't just one company trying to launch a digital dollar. That's an entire industry coming together to build a shared financial infrastructure, aka scale. And I think that's where everything changes. And naturally, everyone starts asking the same questions we know every single time Ripple announces something. Doesn't this compete with RLUSD? Doesn't this hurt XRP? Oh, you gotta love the stablecoin sandwich, right? That's your meal. No, the answer is I think it's quite the opposite. And here's why, folks. Think about what OpenUSD is actually trying to accomplish here. Okay, think about what it's trying to accomplish. It's not positioning itself as the only stablecoin. It's positioning itself as an open, interoperable industry governance standard. Huge. That businesses can build around. That's completely a different objective. Now, compare that to Ripple, for example. Ripple launched RLUSD, right? It's a whole regulated institutional standard. Those two things don't have to compete, and they're not going to. There's no need. One is Ripple's regulated dollar. The other is a collaborative effort designed to create a shared infrastructure across an entire industry. Those ideas can absolutely exist together. But here's the part I think almost everyone is missing, and just try to wrap your head around this, okay? This announcement wasn't really about the scale. It was about interoperability. And you can even see Ripple pointing that out. He says transforming our value moves, and interoperability is the key to institutional scale. And again, you guys are all very well versed on that because we have been educating ourselves on this for the past years.
The current stablecoin infrastructure exhibits congestion and fragmentation and can't be scaled up easily.
Read that announcement, right? And then you're like, okay, in the middle. They continue talking about open infrastructure, interoperable rules, shared standards. And the neutral governance is the most important thing that people overlook. This is not a coincidence what's being built here. They're pointing toward the exact same destination. You know this makes XRP even more bullish, right? People think this is like bears for XRP. Imagine 5 years from now, banks are using digital dollars, payment companies are using digital dollars, merchants are using digital dollars, financial institutions are using digital dollars. Whether they're OpenUSD or LUSD, I don't think USDC is going to be around for long in regards to it's either Ripple's going to acquire them or just Ripple trying to acquire USDC or Circle was a thing, and they offered them $5 billion. However, USDC and Circle are like, you know what? We're going to go to the market. We're going to see how much Ripple will actually value, and because they can, right? They can. And then once we get our real value, then we can discuss something, right? So that's my take on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But I think we're going to go to Circle. I really think so. But there's a bigger challenge behind this, right? It's not about this. The biggest challenge is getting all of those different systems to communicate, right? That's the key point. That's XRP is that glue. That's the most important part that you guys should be focused on.
Saying, XRP has a privileged state on the XRP blockchain in the sense that it's the native asset, and it's the only native asset on the XRPL. It's basically all transaction fees, reserve requirements on the XRP ledger are denominated on the XRP. So it's kind of like tying all the network activity directly to the asset. It's kind of like the path of choice when there is some liquid assets in connection with each other, and XRP will be used automatically in a function called auto bridging. And at large and into the future, increasingly, I see really XRP as sort of like the glue on the network that connects liquidity and settlement, across it. So as a bridge asset for things like stablecoin transactions or multi-asset conversion flows.
That's why my XRP thesis has never been around, XRP replacing stablecoins. We told you it's the quite opposite. The stronger stablecoin becomes, right, the more valuable interoperability becomes. And as more financial infrastructures get built, connectivity is going to be very, very important. Because isolated systems don't create a global financial network, folks. Connected systems do.
DTCC has been looking at this not quite as long as this team, but over the last year, we've been exploring the technology, speaking to many of you, speaking to many vendors, third-party providers, industry associations, many experts. And we've determined a couple of different things peering through the hype and smoke. First, is the ability to share information and let information flow is very powerful. The role that we play in certain infrastructures today requires many firms across the industry to adhere to the sets of standards, to upgrade and version the standards, and it's hard to get everyone on the same set of standards.
And that's why this announcement actually, made me very, very excited. And when you see companies like Visa, MasterCard, Stripe, BlackRock, and also Ripple involved, and more than 140 organizations all agreeing that interoperability and one of the foundations of the future financial system, that's what interoperability is, that's a massive signal. This is about one company winning on one side, folks. And this isn't about one stablecoin replacing another. It's about an industry beginning to standardize around a connected infrastructure. And in my opinion, that's exactly where Ripple has been positioning itself for years. And you guys all know XRP is complementary. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think of the comments down below, and we'll be back with another video.
And so this use case is going to be a massive trend, and there's going to be more needs in the market for more stable coins.
Ecosystem in the future. It's really about this very fundamental driver of demand. Because I told you to buy XRP, and all my friends protest on me. Cause all I talk about is the MCC. Price wars, it was just nice to see. But if there's someone inside of me, and no one's standing next to me.
Nigga make it tripping. Making a video for no customers.
As if the apocalypse had arrived. That very day, countless strange stone pillars fell from above. Immediately after, a giant barrier deployed to cover the whole world. Humanity watched in horror as towering stone columns shot up into the sky. Then the monsters known as Calamity Spirits broke the barrier and invaded the human world. A gigantic world-ending demon appeared, casually crushing all.
shitty ass experience. The fuck? What? Jay, how you got a girlfriend and she... What? That's crazy, bro. Pretty sure it changes course. Oh my God, Olivia. Okay. Where the hell you been? Under a damn rock? Hmm. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you're not in Hawaii. Fuck, you're in what state again? I forgot. Yeah, you left. Yeah. Brother. I've never had no stupid bitch. Oh yeah, Oklahoma. Tornado state. The fuck?
With Canva Code, anything is possible. Even if you think debugging involves pest control, I just tell Canva what I need, and it takes care of the coding. It even brings my design vision to life. How cool is that?
Chevy drivers across America will walk the next 5 years. The one thing they won't is pay interest for their new Chevy. Just announced 0% financing for 5 years with all 2026 Silverado 1500 locks and tracks plans. And low payments until after Labor Day. Because you heard this. Now it's time to get
Guys, I think if I had to make an educated guess here, I truly now believe that Bitcoin's bottom is in. I'm not 100% sure on XRP, but I have this strange feeling that Bitcoin's bottom is in, and we're soon about to start the relief bounce higher. Okay, now I think that relief could honestly be a new all-time high. We never know, right? Or back to his previous all-time high. But there's a bunch of stuff happening, a lot of excitement coming in, and I think this month is going to be extremely bullish, not financial wise. However, you guys are having base name XRPs at $1.06 in the green today, finally, and Bitcoin at 16.7K. Hey, I think we're going to keep going higher now. It is July 1st, guys, and I think that this month is going to be bullish for the holders here. Okay, so I think good things are coming, guys. Just as from Crypto Rover, warning, 92% of Europe's crypto industry will disappear today, right? Or has disappeared today. Crazy, huh? And only 244 crypto firms have secured a FICO license ahead of today's deadline. Previously, Europe had more than 3,000 registered crypto companies. Guess what? That means roughly 92% are still not fully authorized under FICO. Starting today, without a license, firms without a license must stop serving EU users or face enforcement, right? And this happened today. Okay, so what could this mean? I think due to the celebration of EU, guys, they're going to pump it. This is what I tweeted out. XRP's officially July 1st. Binance is now delisted from the EU, right? LDN is about to pump XRP hard. Okay, this is posted as soon as midnight struck. Okay, the new day unfolded. Are we in green today? You know, that's weird, isn't it? Wait, something seems odd. Binance just got delisted from the EU and we're starting to pop. Didn't we say, what if? It's a weird thing that they ritualize here, where EU users cannot even buy the bottom, right? From these major crypto exchanges. Because Binance is first place, right? When we talk about volume and everything combined. And then possibly second comes in as Coinbase, but yeah. Does that mean market manipulation to the downside has stopped? And it was due to Binance, which they created everything, right? All this crazy things has happened. Okay, so that's something to keep an eye out on, guys. Very fascinating stuff, isn't it? It's always been about, remember, what has license, right, in the EU? Ripple does. Take a careful look at XRP, the X logo. Then look at the XLM and Rock logo. Don't say anything, just look. Right from Michelle. Kirby. Look at this. So what do we notice here? So we see XRP's logo, okay, and what is that? That's X's logo, right? Twitter's logo. Updated logo to X. You know, what is crazy here is when I scroll through Twitter sometimes, guys, and sometimes, you know, there's updates about X or whatever, and then they post a logo. I sometimes think about, oh, it's XRP, right? And then I get tripped because of the exact symbolism there, right? Connected to XRP and X. Then you have XLM, right? Stellar, okay? With the Saturn symbolism there. And then Rock is literally the same logo, right? Well, I think this is here. Check this out. We know that or they know that there's something related to Saturn, right? So I don't think Brock copied XLM, right, in terms of their logo, because we know a lot of these companies have this Saturn symbolism embedded within them. What I do think is 100% X copied XRB's logo, 1,000%, right? That's undeniable. Okay, so that's funny, isn't it? Hey, maybe it's a top secret from Kojak, White House, and Mr. Poole. Let me see here. Mr. Poole posted top secret.
A helpless kid finds himself cornered by a pack of hungry wasteland wolves in the deep woods, and the beasts waste no time launching themselves.
So now we quickly move.
Customized cash rewards Visa card. You can earn 6% cash back at a category like online shopping the first year of the account. And match her schedule with the match schedule. What would you like the power to do?
So now we quickly move on to the A final. And we've got the 3 fastest men in Europe here. I'm expecting fireworks, nothing less. The question is, can they match that 9:89 from Rowan Browning? Well, it's faster than the personal best of all of these men, bar Marcel Jacobs. Once again, Marcus Fuchs has made the final here in Eisenstadt. Qualified second in his heat, 10:30, behind the man you just see to the left and right of your screen, Lamont Marcel Jacobs. This is Wayne van Niekerk. Battled with Owen Ansah all the way down the home straight in the first of the 3 heats a little bit earlier, about an hour 20 minutes ago. And still world 400 metre record holder. Choosing to race shorter distances these days, but Van Niekerk still a real talent. Now, Lamont Marcel Jacobs, 9:84 with the wind a little bit gentler than it has been in that B final, 2.2 metres per second. So a really good run from Jacobs in his heat and showed he was in great shape. Romain Glave, we know he's in good shape. Ran a personal best of 9:98 to win the UK title 10 days ago. And then another man who can boast of a personal best of 9:98. Owen Ansah did that in Regensburg at the start of last month. On the inside, Yoshihide Gidio, one of Asia's fastest sprinters. Gidio a personal best of also 9:98. So the men in lanes 1, 2 and 3, all personal best at 9:98. How about that? So the very last event on the track of the international programme. I think we might be seeing one more event, which would be a domestic 800 metres while the pole vault's still going on, as they settle down. From the inside, Kiryu of Japan, Ansah, Germany, Glave of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the Newham and Essex Beagles runner. Jacobs, the Olympic champion 5 years ago. Van Niekerk, the Olympic 400 metres champion from 2016, the world record holder over 1 lap on the track. And on the outside, the Austrian record holder, Marcus Fuchs. the men's 100 meters. I think the wind is causing a few concentration issues. Don't want anybody disqualified. Only seen one disqualification in the whole of the evening, despite the focus of attention being on sprints. Green card it is. Everybody required to go back and settle. Well, a lot of the stories about this meeting have been built around Marcel Jacobs, and he's certainly got the part in the heat with that 9.84 clocking just over the legal wind limit. Last year we saw a terrific performance, the meet record from Brian Lavelle, 9.82 wind legal. So once again, as they settle down, Kiryu, Japan, Ansa, Germany, Glave, Great Britain, Jacobs, Italy, Van Niekerk, South Africa, and Fuchs on the outside of Austria. Well, Jacobs got a rather lackadaisical start, but now he's into his running. He's being challenged by Niekerk and Glave, but Jacobs pulls away. Takes it by about a metre. 9.66. I don't think too many humans have ever run faster than that. Just remembering that the world record is 9.58. Well, that's an unbelievable time. Of course, the wind over 4 meters per second. 9.67 for
Holy
Marcel
shit.
Jacobs. Blown to a time he's never ever
God
run that
damn.
fast. Not a surprise.
957, bro.
And that's going to be an autograph that's going to be cherished by that young man over the years. 9.67. What a stunning run. Romeo Glave. His legs are working more than 2/10 faster than they've ever gone before under legal conditions. 9.76. Managed to hold the Olympic champions to 900ths of a second.
Wow. Romel Glave is in shape, bro.
And given the fact that the three were battling down the home straight, three abreast, Van Niekerk cut short at third place. Well, what a run from Lamont Marcel Jacobs.
Holy shit.
Well, they're saying it was the second fastest race time under any conditions. Of course, Usain Bolt's world record.
That's fast.
That was done under
that's
legal
fast.
conditions in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin. 9.58. Let's have a look at that race again. Jacobs is back.
Fuck yeah, he's back.
Well, he's got European
Bro, his
goals.
fucking bounding is crazy, bro. That's what I noticed about him. He always bounds, bro. His fucking bound is strong. And he just lifts his knees. Boom, boom, boom.
In Birmingham next month, in 6 weeks' time.
Holy shit. That's fucking fast.
That indicates
Angie,
that if they can
I said hi to you. Bye.
they have the capacity to break the world record.
Over the next 7 hours, I'm going to hand you everything that you need to know to become a profitable day trader this year, even if you've never opened a chart in your entire life. And this information is coming from my 9 years of experience doing this professionally at this point. I'm going to walk you through what day trading is, how to read charts, mastering candlesticks, choosing the right platforms, and I'm going to give you guys the exact strategies that I personally use every single day to make 6 figures a
You just
month
gotta stream.
with trading.
And then when you pop off, you're fine. It's the same shit. You learn skills, repetition, you keep doing it, keep coming on top. It's the same shit. If you keep doing something repetitively and just keep coming on top, shit, everything will compound. Look, I got 4 views. I mean, I've been streaming every day. I didn't miss a day since. It's compounded. Anything you do in life is compounding. And repetition. Repetition compounded. You know what I mean? Good. All these guys trying to teach you. I mean, it's good to teach you, but everything in life is just really, in general, if you're doing something every day, turn on the stream. That's it. People love to see different type of activities. Not mine, at least. I'm just sitting down on my fat ass. You know what I mean? Just being a little lump. But, no. I run every day. I exercise every day. I train every day. And then I turn on the stream. You know what I mean? All these guys teaching shit. It's good. But they have to turn on the stream and teach that shit. They'd be getting more money if they're teaching on stream. And then you put the fucking video on top. I'm not saying, bro. Fuck. Because streaming is a way. Ain't nobody watching TV anymore. If you're making an impact. I just want to see if I can do it. And I've been on stream every day, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hey. If them guys can do it on Kick, you know what I mean? I'm not naming no names. But just saying, I'm just saying. If idiots can get rich and just turn on an effing stream and be famous out of no goddamn reason and start making money off of a platform, anybody should be able to make money on this shit. Just turn on the stream every day, wherever the fuck you're at, your job. Am I right or wrong? Can somebody let me know in the chat if I'm fucking dumb or I'm doing something wrong? Like, is that not it? You just turn on the stream, act stupid, be yourself, be your clumsy ass self, and if people like you, they'll share your stream. Oh shit, that reminds me, I gotta share my stream on X. Or you just gotta do something stupid, you know what I mean? Climb the fucking Eiffel Tower in New York. Bro, how many times somebody climbed the Eiffel Tower already in fucking New York? And you guys hyping up that shit like it's fucking fantastic. Oh my god, they climbed it. Like, it's a repetition of fucking views and distraction that you guys are trying to place upon the human masses. Like, what the fuck, bro? Bro, show us something different, you know what I mean? We've seen all the shenanigans already. Everybody killing, something, doing this, dumb shit, fighting, people getting into argument, cheating, allegations, sports this, sports that. Bro, it goes on and on. It's like, fuck, everybody just loves drama. This world just loves drama for some reason. The world is based off of fucking views and dramas. See who can be the best drama queen on the fucking planet. That's all it is. They don't give praise to athletes in track and field, which is crazy, you know what I mean? These guys should be getting paid. I don't know, NBA, fucking NFL, fucking... You know what I mean? Ain't nobody give respect to track athletes, bro. These guys gotta get paid. I'm just saying, bro. With all this dumb shit that's going around in the world and everybody getting paid more than track athletes, something's wrong here. Streamers getting paid more than track athletes? Did you get paid to be stupid on camera? The biggest humiliation ritual. Just be stupid and act dumb. Start fights. And you'll get views and you'll get paid. Oh my god. The reason why I'm not getting famous. Ain't nobody want to watch my shit. I really don't give a shit. I'm not trying to be dumb. I'm recycled. Like the next dumb motherfucker. Trying to be dumb just for views. I'm just saying, because I really don't give a fuck. Because they don't, obviously. Because they're getting paid, right? They're doing it because they're getting paid. Obviously. Like, what? I'm getting my carbs in. Whoop. So I've been ranting all this time and I haven't seen any chat. What the hell's going on? Nobody's interacting. That's why I shut the fuck up when I turn this shit on, because nobody talks to me unless you guys say some shit. I'm not gonna be a fool on this bitch ass. Just saying. I look good. I'm trying to understand why I'm getting no views. Am I that ugly that I'm not getting views? Am I that ugly that I'm not getting views on this bitch? Type a 1 inside there if I'm that ugly that I'm not getting views in here. Am I ugly? Type a 1. Already seen enough of these fuckers playing with each other, playing with this shit, you know what I mean? Bro, you guys is making sexualization the mainstream of mainstream. You're trying to distract everybody. It's like any female that can get in front of a camera will take a chance to show some nips. You know what I mean? It's like we never seen enough of it, you know what I mean? Like, fuck. Any female that turns on the camera and does that is a one-hit wonder. We've seen enough of it already, you know what I mean? Just relax. We don't gotta see any more of it. Fuck. Everybody's coochie's recycled. You know what I mean? It's recycled. I ain't never dating in the US, ever. Facts. Get a foreign female, you know what I mean, and just chill. Marry her, that way she can visa here. I'm chilling. That's it. Shit is so crazy. Everybody's talking about, bro, what is so exciting about this fucking FIFA Cup, bro? Why you guys keep talking about this cup? You ain't fucking getting it. You know what I mean? You ain't getting paid to fucking do it. Like what? You know what I mean? Everybody's watching this fucking World Cup. For what fucking reason? You're not getting paid to fucking watch the cup and be there. You paid to be there. Or you're just fucking being smart and you're paying a service to watch it from your own comfort of your place. You're still paying. I ain't watching it. I'm not gonna pay for shit to watch shit. Everything is free. I'd rather go to the beach and hang out at the beach for free. These fuckers is not gonna know my name. I shout, oh my god, yeah, go. For what, bro? Oh my god. That shit is so overdone already. How can you guys not see that sports is draining you guys? Who gives a fuck about sports? I'm just saying, fuck about your own life. That's it. Mind your own business and fuck about your own life. Just fuck your life. That's it. Nobody else's. You don't gotta be watching this shit. You don't even gotta be watching me. I'm just saying, I'm the ranter here. It's Crazy Wednesday. And I'm talking. I'm going at it. Bro, I talk so much, I ain't getting no likes. What the fuck is going on here? Everybody in chat, what the fuck is going on? Huh? I start talking. Like what? You sure I'm good, JJ? Because ain't nobody responding to me, bro. Like, what the fuck? As soon as I fucking start talking, ain't nobody is showing up. Like, what the fuck? Everybody wanted attention, and then they shut the fuck up. And then everybody leaves. Like, what? telling you guys, Thursday will be fucking insane. Guys, I'm gonna sit. What the fuck? You talking about? I've been talking. I've been here. You guys is the one quiet, not me. Tripping. Had to make my own. Keep the hair out the way. Make a video real quick. Yeah, Jay. Fucking egg, bro. Egg. Let's keep my hair back, bro. Fuck. Like a fucking egg. You damn right, bro. Of course, bro. Check this video. Oh shit. Shit. Niggas black. For real. What the fuck going on? Is it? Is it really? We're all gonna die eventually, JJ, so it's fine. Thanks for the heads up, though. The fuck? You sure? Check. 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 Hello? What's going on, guys? Your boy Crazy No, and there's another video for you. Yeah, it's been fun grinding here at the Ancient Nest, but it was very interesting at first when 4th dropped, and it was very fun. As you can see, we're just nuking it out. The poison at the time, right now, is helping me with damage. So that's why my rates were up, and they're up right now. In my opinion, I think the poison is supposed to be doing the dot and actually giving the damage at the same time, because I don't see why not, because it's actually helping everybody else. That's what a fire poison is. It's like I'm not gonna stand out at a boss raid, HT or Zac. So why take this away when actually it's supposed to be doing what it's supposed to be doing? I don't think it's wrong at all. But the grind here is good. I like Paralyze. The poison, when you poison the map, Paralyze actually does fairly amount of damage that it should be doing. But in my opinion, as a 4th job, and at the rate and level that I'm at, I feel like I should be doing a little bit more damage. Paralyze at least should be doing 2 lines and a decent amount of damage, because I'm lacking in damage right now. As you can see, a lot of classes are out DPSing me with their high speed attack and expertise. Overall, it actually looks really good though. Hey, what's up, Jordan? You guys' thoughts on fire poison so far? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, it actually looks really good too, to me though. With SE, I'll be hitting at least 100k minimum, easy. Maybe 110k. But I still feel that Paralyze should do 2 lines at least with the same damage. That way I have a standing chance for DPS, because these guys attack way too fast with SI. Ever since training here, it's been kind of brutal for mages, but it's good for now. It's really good for now. Oh, there you are. Perfect. 197. Another one. Yeah, at that time, a lot of shadowers were having bugs when he dropped forth, so we'll see what happens. There it is. As you can see, look, 139, 141k damage. That's perfect. We got Dice 7 and SC at the same time. Massive damage. So this is good damage. See, as a 4th job, I expect my Paralyzed to be doing this type of damage without at least Dice 7. Or just slightly a little bit lower. 120, I'll be fine with it. I just still feel that I'm under lacking with damage as a 4th job. Fire Poison. The only damage that I have, single damage, high damage, is Fire Demon, but it spreads to 3 characters, or 3 monsters right after. And the damage is fairly low. Meteor doesn't do anything except add Scorch. It hits 15 for 800, but I'm on a cooldown. So this is my thing. I don't want the cooldown because the other classes are out DPSing me. I mean, you can put the cooldown to 10 seconds, but these guys are still out DPSing me at the same time, which is keeping my rates low. You'll see why. I have a couple videos coming out, and I'm explaining to you now that these are the rates that I was getting when he didn't patch the poison mist. So it's still good for now. This is actually really good, to be honest with you. And I didn't mind it at all. This was good rates. Perfect rates. Even with a decent... Look, I have shatters on the bottom. And nobody was pulling. Imagine if I had a team that was pulling. Massive damage. Here we go. My thoughts on Meteor, though, to be honest with you, my opinion is there should be no cooldown. I don't mind spending the 8k MP because we have unlimited amount of pots that you can buy. There it is, another level. Overall, my thoughts on top of 4th job so far with this coming out, I'm okay with it. I'm 6.5 out of 10. There are some changes that could be done with it, but other than that, this is just the first week of it, so I'll wait to see what he does. Thanks for dropping by, guys. Have a good one. Finish that video. Perfect. What's up, Jordan? Hey, there you go, Jordan. That's what's up, Dollywood. Summer even time with you. She just wanna get you. Dude, you can go. I'm not forcing you to stay, bro. You feel me? It is what it is, boy.
The hero of our story, David, was a handsome young man and a capable student who attracted the attention of all the girls at school. But the guy's heart was given to one single young lady who captivated him with her beauty and charm. David rejected the attention of all young men, and he was proud of his chosen one named Mary. Despite his outward habits, David had to work hard to provide a decent life for his girlfriend and fulfill her wishes. Once, in dire need of money, he even begged to take him on for any job, offering his services. David, despite having excellent grades and coming from a simple family, tried to earn money by any means necessary, tutoring, working as a waiter, and even as a courier. The young man loved to repeat the proverb that a man is ready to do anything for the sake of the woman who loves him, and a woman tries to be attractive to her chosen one. David's sharp mind helped him not only in his studies, but also in various games, for which he showed remarkable talent. But in love, everything was not so simple. One day, the system unexpectedly notified David that he had successfully completed a very difficult test, noting his record time and leadership. The system invited David to enter a dangerous post-apocalyptic world, warning that death in the game means death in real life. However, David decided that the longer he could stay in the game, the more valuables he could get,
because he was used to difficulties. The young man had a hard time believing that what was happening was real, trying to comprehend the information he had received and the system's proposal. But ultimately he agreed to take the risk. Immediately after this, the system announced the imminent start of the post-apocalypse in 4 hours, calling on David to be ready and collected. The realization that he would be able to transfer valuable things from the game into reality for as long as he lived caused a storm
I'll be right there,
of joyful
Jordan. I'm
emotions
chilling.
in David.
Fuck, whenever you wanna
Remembering his
fucking come and
girlfriend,
chill,
with whom he
it's
had
all good.
recently had
I'm
a
chilling.
date, David decided to ask his friends to lend him some money. Realizing he only had 4 hours, David quickly made a list of the essentials: food, water, a military backpack, a sapper shovel, and a flashlight. Andrew and Kevin met him at the house, surprised by their friend's long absence and eager to hear the latest news. Andrew sarcastically remarked that David's beautiful Mary occupied all his free time, hinting at their romantic relationship. Embarrassed, David asked his friends to lend him money, explaining that he really needed it right now. Kevin, teasing David, noted that despite his outstanding intelligence, his friend's intelligence plummeted when he saw Mary. Having given all the money he and Andrew had, Kevin advised them to spend it not only on gifts for Mary, but also on food for themselves. Andrew assured David that he could return the money as soon as possible, and that there was no need to worry about it now. Kevin, saying goodbye to his friend, advised him to be careful and prudent. As he said goodbye, David promised to throw a grand celebration for his friends when he returned from that dangerous world. Having bought everything he needed, David, armed with a sapper shovel.
What's going on, guys? Your boy Crazy No, and there's another video for you. Yeah, it's been fun grinding here at Perfect. I fuck with it. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. Sport. Excellent.
Secretly hoped to use it to find treasure in the post-apocalyptic world. Despite the late hour, David still decided to call Mary, wanting to hear her voice before the upcoming trip. Mary, surprised by the late call, asked the reason why David had disturbed her night's peace. She mentioned that she would like to talk to him about something very important that she had wanted to tell him for a long time. Mary was ready to share important information, but at the last moment she changed her mind, postponing the conversation. She decided that they needed to meet in person to discuss what was troubling her. At that moment, Charles's voice was heard asking Mary who was calling her at such a late hour. Mary, as if not having heard David's last words, interrupted the conversation, leaving the young man perplexed. David didn't understand why Mary suddenly hung up without saying goodbye. Realizing that the time had come, David gathered all the necessary things and prepared for the journey into the unknown world. With food supplies for 7 days, David decided to explore the surrounding area thoroughly, hoping to find something valuable. Living in a post-apocalyptic world, David couldn't shake the thought of a possible encounter with zombies. David, full of determination and youthful excitement, began to explore this world full of secrets and dangers. He felt like a hero in a computer game, immersing himself with interest in the atmosphere of a post-apocalyptic world. The system gave David his first piece of advice on surviving in the zombie world: always keep a sapper shovel handy. David tried to clarify with the system what kind of dangerous situations were being discussed in the post-apocalypse, and what this talking program meant. But in response, the system only hinted that soon the player David himself would find out about everything. But for now, he should be extremely careful. And this was her second important piece of advice. Don't distract zombies when their attention is focused on someone else, said tip number 3. The system explained that zombies are much more dangerous and aggressive in open spaces. The system's fourth advice was to avoid unnecessary collisions that could cost lives. Then David decided that distracting the zombies he encountered along the way with a thrown rock was a great idea. If only he could escape in time. The fifth tip of the system was related to the peculiarities of zombie perception. One must take advantage of their sensitivity to sounds. David concluded that zombies, being lacking intelligence, are easily deceived. The young man had no doubt that he could avoid the dangers of the post-apocalypse. The main thing was to stay away from zombies. Suddenly David stopped. It seemed to him that someone was watching him and he became wary. It occurred to David that perhaps there were different types of zombies. But right now, the pursuer may not be a zombie, but a person. Because people in such a world are much more dangerous than the dead. Trying to determine who was in front of him, a local resident or a fellow guest, David decided to hide from his pursuer. He reasoned that regardless of whether it was a person or a zombie, the goal of the pursuit was the same: to kill and rob. Noticing a building with only one entrance, David decided to take cover in it, hoping for a favorable defensive position. David felt more confident being in cover and having an advantage over his pursuer, whoever it was. Suddenly, a strange sound, reminiscent of a bird squeaked, and David instinctively became alert, trying to determine its source. Seeing something between a fish and a man in front of him, David was momentarily speechless, doubting his own sanity. Deciding that this was not a hallucination, but a real robbery attempt, David begged for mercy. The girl appeared in front of the stunned David and demanded that he give her all the food, threatening cruel reprisals. Deciding that her threat was not being taken seriously, the girl, armed with a dagger, prepared to attack. David realized his mistake. He should have first securely hidden the bag of food before going out to explore. However, the situation did not seem hopeless. His rival was just a girl, albeit an aggressive one. The unexpected attack by the stranger became a signal for David to take further action. But suddenly, with a sharp movement, the girl struck David with a strong kick.
Strong kick.
Hello and welcome to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be launching into a campaign of one of my favourite games. It's Battle Brothers. Older game.
You'll notice we got a great new upgrade, plenty of space, perfect for your next surf sesh.
Auntie got the same sportage, so nice and super affordable. You're gonna like it.
Oh, Auntie.
Surprise! You'll never come to see me. It's reliable, super safe, and protects Auntie's beef stew.
Oh, Auntie makes the best beef stew. Shop our inventory and special offers at AlohaKia.com.
Aloha Kia. We hear you. Same way Auntie hears the stomach growling.
Hey, I'm Lydia. I work on Claude Code here at Anthropic, and today we're launching Claude Tag, which lets Claude collaborate right alongside your team. At Anthropic, we've been tagging Claude in for most of this year, so honestly, all of this is just how we work now. And across Anthropic, Claude Tag opens 65% of our product pull requests. So for example here, we have a team about a week out from shipping a product. So what's going on in engineering? Drew heard from a sales rep that one feature, scheduled exports, is the thing their biggest deals are waiting on. He doesn't own it, so he asked the person who does. Notice that this is all multiplayer. Nadia texts Claude, then Claude keeps up with the group thread, reacting to product decisions made in real time. It opens the PR, and it lands the change. And the cool part is that
Oh my god.
Hello and welcome to Board Gaming, where today we're going to be launching into a campaign of one of my favourite games. It's Battle Brothers. Older game. I think it was probably 7 or 8 years old. Certainly one I put a lot of hours into. I would... This is kind of... expensive, but basically you can increase the amount of
A man with lilac eyes begins by recounting that he was just a librarian when a fire broke out, forcing him to transmigrate to another world. A man with lilac eyes begins by recounting that he was just a librarian when a fire broke out, forcing him to transmigrate to another world to be reborn. In this new world, martial artists are highly respected, but that's not the case for him, as he is nothing more than a terrible teacher. When people transmigrate to another world, they usually gain a special talent. This did not happen to him, and he is on the verge of being fired. Students gossip in the corridors at Jiangsuan caused one of his students to have a high deviation and even rank last in the teacher qualification evaluation. Despised by everyone and unable to win the favor of Shen Bairu, he is even banned from entering the library. Reflecting, he concludes that being weak in this place is a sin, and becoming strong is the only way out. Determined to radically change his life, in the Heavenly Path Library, he finally gains a special talent, allowing him not only to see through a person's weaknesses, but also to create unique martial arts and techniques. Thus, he begins his comeback, attracting students by identifying what troubles them most and makes them weak. Shocked, They wonder how the teacher knows these things. He replies that if they become his students, he will teach them techniques to overcome their weaknesses. In this way, he spreads his teachings across the world. However, opponents also arise along the way. Other teachers accuse Zhang Zhuan of coercing students and ruining the reputation of the Hongshan Academy. But none of this matters to him. The only thing he wants is to become stronger and make everyone fear him, breaking the shackles of that world. His main goal is to become immortal and fight his way to the top. In the beginning, he was just a librarian on Earth who left due to a fire and transmigrated to another world, where Zhang Zhuan intimidates a student by cornering her against the wall. He claims to be the most famous teacher in the academy and says she should become his student. She asks if his name is Lu Zanlaoxi. Denying it, he claims to be much better. He believed his new life would be like in novels, where after transmigrating, he would overcome obstacles and take his place at the top of the world. To his surprise, he was wrong, and when he introduces himself to the girl, all he receives is a loud slap across the face. Annoyed, she storms off, shouting that this place is actually the last class and not the top one, meaning it's a fraud, while the teacher remains on the ground begging her to reconsider. He wonders why it's so hard to recruit a student. His class had no one, making him the weakest teacher in the entire academy. His only claim to fame was causing one of his students to have a high deviation, leaving everyone afraid to be taught by him. Trying to drown his sorrows, he turned to drinking and eventually met his end. Taking over the life of the failed teacher, Zhang must fix the mess and recruit students to avoid being expelled. A young girl with pink hair suddenly enters the room and asks again if this is Lu Zanlaoxi's class. Realizing his trick of switching the signs for the classes worked, he prepares to succeed this time. With poise, he asks if the girl wants to become the student of the person she's looking for. Excitedly, she replies yes, because that man is the most amazing teacher in the academy and everyone knows it's an honor to be one of his students. Countering, he says that teachers are like shoes and that one must see if the shoe fits, as teaching methods need to suit the student. And even if the teacher isn't very famous, if their teaching suits the student, it will see better and faster results. The girl then says her older brother said the same thing, but she doesn't know which teacher suits her. Zhang Zhuan then says that, as a teacher, if he sees a confused student, he will help them. And if she shows him her abilities, he can recommend a suitable teacher for her. She thanks him and prepares to demonstrate her skills. Watching, the man realizes he can't discern anything, so he decides to praise the student to deceive her. When asked what he thinks of her cultivation foundation, he lies, saying her foundation is solid and that she has excellent talent, adding that she is a prodigy in martial arts, which makes her happy. He says every move she made was full of strength, and all she needs to do is keep cultivating diligently to have a bright future. The young girl then reveals that her legs were injured previously, and that the doctor said she would make no progress in training for the rest of her life, shocking him. To get out of the situation, he asks her if she thinks he wouldn't notice such an obvious problem and says that even with this obstacle, she will be blessed with an opportunity. Curious, she asks what opportunity that would be. Striking an encouraging pose, he says that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Happy, she asks if there is still hope for her case. The man responds that only 3 teachers at the academy would be capable of offering such an opportunity, and 2 of them have already stopped accepting students, leaving only him. Confused, the girl asks what she should do, and when she inquires if he is still accepting students, he says he is indifferent to fame and fortune. Kneeling, the young woman begs him to accept her and says she will give her best effort in cultivation, making him happy to have succeeded. Quickly, he accepts and grabs the young woman's hand to seal a commitment. He pricks his finger to collect a small drop of blood and lets it fall on a blue stone. Not understanding the speed of the process, the student silently wonders why she was accepted so quickly and why the teachers seem to have everything ready in advance. He asks her what her name is, and she introduces herself as Wang Ying. The conversation ends, and the teacher asks her to return tomorrow to start lessons, and she agrees if she leaves the class. Owen says he no longer needs to worry about being expelled and has finally started walking his path, convinced he will live a good life. However, something strange begins to happen, and he starts falling into a kind of magical spiral. When he opens his eyes and tries to reorganize his thoughts, he finds himself standing in front of the gates of the Heavenly Path Library. Confused, he wonders if he has crossed into another world or if this is a delayed welcome gift, but he decides to enter to take a look and see if he can find anything good. Zhang is impressed by the structure of the place, which is infinitely better than the library he worked at in his previous life, but he wonders if there is anything there besides books. He dislikes the idea of only getting a pile of books, as they won't help him in his future battles. Still, he opts to check what the stack of papers is about first. They might be about superior techniques. His hand passes through when he tries to grab one of the books, and he realizes they aren't physical. Irritated, he remarks that this way he can't even throw them at his enemies in the future. The place then disappears, and he thinks he had a dream that didn't help him at all since it provided nothing useful. Disappointed, he decides to go eat something. He plans to think later about how to trick more students. Suddenly, someone calls his name. Another teacher boasts about the students he recruited and mocks the fact that Zhang Xuan seemingly didn't manage to get any. Retorting, he says the man doesn't need to show off, and that whether he has students or not is none of his business. Laughing, the other teacher tells his students that Zhang was the only teacher to score 0 in the qualification test. The students mock him, recalling the educator's greatest failure. Indignant, Zhang asks if they are done and tells them to leave because it's time for his lunch break. Teacher Qiao Shang says he is infamous and asks if he doesn't feel a shred of shame. In response, Zhang says no, explaining that he created a story, and now all the freshmen know his name, unlike Kao, who is just a nobody, making him angry. Wang Ying appears to defend her teacher, saying he is kind because he accepted her as a student and assured her that with effort, he would rank her first among the freshmen. A man reminds her that her older brother sent her to choose Lu Zhan Laoshi and advises her to leave this teacher's class before her brother finds out. Overhearing the conversation, the bragging teacher laughs, knowing that if the girl leaves, Zhang will have no students left. The man accompanying the girl announces that she will withdraw from the lessons. Trying to reverse the situation, Zhang asks the young woman if she knows how many people wanted to be his students and were rejected, and if she's sure she wants to do this. He then asks the man beside her if he is sure he can take responsibility if no other teacher accepts the girl because she left his class. Delivering a checkmate, Zhang says the man should relax because with his lessons, Yang, who already has talent, will soar in cultivation. Intervening in the conversation, Xiang says that if she leaves Zhang's class, he promises to accept her as his student. Outraged, the red-haired teacher accuses him of publicly stealing his students and says he will report him. The other, laughing, claims he isn't doing anything wrong. He challenges him to a competition, but after some reflection, Zhang realizes his opponent's teachings and cultivation foundation are superior, leaving him no chance. Noticing that refusing would mean losing his only student, he decides to accept despite being at a disadvantage. In the training field, everyone gathers to watch the competition. The rules are that each teacher must advise the other student on their weaknesses, and the one who provides the best guidance will be the winner. Wang Ying starts by showing her punching skills, scoring 53 points. The challenging teacher points out that while her punches are strong, her legs seem weak and concludes that she must have injured them, leaving Zhang Xuan considered inferior, impressed by his opponent's sharp observation, and wondering what he should do. As advice, Qiao tells the student he will show her a way to practice punches even with leg injuries. From afar, Zhang cannot hear what they are discussing. Ready to try again, the girl positions herself, follows the advice, and lets the power fill her body. She unleashes her punch with full force, achieving a score of 63 and 10 kilograms more than before. Everyone watching is impressed by what happens. It's now Zhang Xuan's turn to advise his opponent's student. Extending his hand, he asks them to wait, arguing that it's unfair. He questions why he should lose his student if he is defeated, while the other teacher faces no consequences if the reverse happens. Stammering, his opponent then declares that if Zhang wins, Liu Yang will become his student, reassuring the boy that this won't happen. Satisfied with the agreement, the lilac-eyed teacher agrees to proceed. While observing the young man practice, Zhang realizes there's no way out since he doesn't even know his technique, let alone his weakness. The silver-haired student thinks he'd rather die than be forced to have a teacher who scored 0 in the qualification test. Squinting nervously, Zhang tries to detect any flaws in the boy's technique, but he is suddenly transported again to the library, where a huge message states that the heavens are incomplete, leaving him confused. A book floats into his hands and he realizes it is real. On the cover is the name of the student he is evaluating, and the pages contain the boy's entire history, including his technique and all 12 of his weaknesses. The first is that the boy uses too much force in his feats, and the last is that his left arm is stronger, preventing him from using his full strength because he relies on his right. Returning from what feels like a dream, Zhang sees that the boy has scored 62 kilograms. In his thoughts, Zhang realizes that everyone has weaknesses recorded in books, and that's the purpose of the Heavenly Path Library. He is thrilled with this welcome gift, deciding to show what a transmigrator is capable of doing. He tells the boy that his punching technique has precisely 12 weaknesses, causing his opponent to laugh. The other students also burst into laughter, claiming that the rising punch technique has no flaws and that even the director couldn't find any. Doubted, Zhang announces that he won't continue and calls his student, saying they're wasting time with this competition. Believing in him, the opposing teacher asks him to demonstrate what he knows. Turning to Liu Yang, Zhang tells him his technique focuses on his right hand and that for better results, he should use his left hand instead. The young man questions if Zhang is sure, while the other students laugh, saying this will ruin the entire technique. Cao Xiang, claiming to know everything about the boy's strength, tells him to proceed so they can end this quickly. Obeying, the student goes to deliver the punch with his left hand, leaving his teacher astonished by the score he achieves. The boy hits 123 kilograms. The audience is incredulous at how the force nearly doubled, something even the most famous teacher couldn't achieve. Impressed by his own punch, the young man wonders if he really did it, while Zhang smiles, knowing his advice worked. Sarcastically, Zhang asks if his opponent has anything else to say, pointing out that his student's strength increased by 20%, while the opponent's student's strength more than doubled. The teacher then takes out his blue stone and erases Liu Yang's name. who will now become the student of the victorious teacher. As he leaves the training field, other students try to convince him to reconsider his decision. Angry, he thinks that his opponent got lucky this time and that it won't happen again next time. Throwing a stone at the boy, the red-haired teacher orders him to sign his name on the object. Even though he disagrees, the boy does as instructed since no other teacher would accept him. At the academy, everyone talks about what happened. They discuss how Zhang Xuan, despite being the teacher who ranked last in the qualification test, managed to win, and how he increased his student's strength to over 100 kilograms. A blue-haired girl doubts the claim and says that if Lu Xunlao she couldn't do it, no one could, insisting it must have been sheer luck. Her friend disagrees, pointing out that the strength increased significantly. Irritated, she retorts, saying she only joined the academy to have the best teacher, and now her friend is suggesting that the best isn't even a match for the worst. She vows to expose him. In his room, the victorious teacher, feeling invincible, celebrates, confident that no martial art or technique can remain a mystery to him with the library's help. Suddenly, the blue-haired girl shows up looking for him. He asks what the problem is. She explains what she has heard and asks if he can provide her with advice to also increase her strength by over 100%. Declining, he says he is busy, irritating the young woman who claims he isn't doing anything. He responds that he is recruiting students and therefore has no time to waste on someone rude. With a bizarre expression, she asks what she needs to do for him to give her some advice. He replies that she needs to become his student. The student agrees for now, but her plan is to recognize Luke's son as her teacher after exposing Zhang. Giving an ultimatum, she says that if he doesn't provide any useful advice, she'll tell everyone that he's nothing but a fraud. Her friends, overhearing from outside, worry about her impulsive attitude. They decide to inform Mr. Yao about what is happening. Zhang Xuan refuses to recognize her as a student due to her attitude, saying he only likes obedient children. Trying to mask her anger at being rejected, Zhao Yao apologizes for her rudeness and asks the teacher to accept her request. He responds by saying she's being a good girl now, and that if she wants to be his student, she should start by cleaning his room and the bathroom outside, and if she passes his inspection, he will accept her. Clenching her teeth, the young woman tells him not to push it. Sitting back, the red-haired man says that if she can't handle such a basic task, she should leave. Feigning a smile, she grabs the broom and begins cleaning. While sweeping, she vows silently that she won't let him escape. The room shines and praises her for doing a good job. Then he takes out his blue stone and tells her to insert her identification. With a fake smile and fire in her eyes, the girl says she looks forward to his instructions and can't wait to get stronger or, better yet, ruin his reputation. Her first lesson is to punch the measuring stone so the teacher can assess her strength. Doubting that he can deduce anything just from a punch, she gets into position. Seeing that the girl is using her martial arts, he visits the Heavenly Path library to find a book containing her weaknesses. Searching through the shelves, he quickly locates it.
Hey, Sunshine, thank you.
Xiaoya is the daughter of the Lord of Bayou City
Thank you
and a
very much.
martial artist at the peak of the One-Dan Juxi stage with a total of 27 weaknesses. Unimpressed with what he reads,
First 10 years of your life? I'm assuming your parents were pretty strict.
Oh, yes. They knew that I was my best friend, and they gave me so much for it. They were just like,
Your parents would say you're...
Were they English or Chinese?
Chinese. They would just be like, 你太开放了. And I think something just clicked in my brain, and I was like, I'm gonna be a
Did that bother you?
At the time, yeah.
I'm just having with one person.
Yeah,
That
like-
makes me...
It was insane back then.
Then you're like, I'm launching the face. Do they find out?
Oh, they found out. They actually didn't find out until last year.
So you dropped out of college?
Yes.
They thought you were still in college.
Yes.
Oh, that's a double negative for
As
them.
an Asian kid.
They're like, you're doing... Like, oh my God. And you're like, and I dropped out of college. They're like,
Two goons, not one but two goons. Two goons, 7 hours in the bathroom.
Hi, I'm Lucy Mochi, and you're watching Two Goons.
Hey Goons, you can catch me live in Plano, Texas, August 14th to 15th. And check out my new comedy special, How to Make Your Balls Bigger, out now on YouTube. Get all your tickets at shaderarian.com or
JJLiebermanLive.com.
You shot with friend of the pod, Gattuso.
Oh. me. Oh, sick.
How was it shooting with Gattuso?
It was intense.
Oh, yeah.
Intense.
Well, yeah, people were like, "Yeah, he's intense," and I thought.
Oh yeah, just pull it. You can
pull it back. Yeah, bring it to you.
There you
Treat it like it's a.
There you go.
Yeah, you work it the way you want to work it. Yeah. Probably like close into like underneath. Yes. Okay.
That's great.
Perfect.
Cool.
So so you worked with Gattuso in America, or were you in
In
overseas?
America, it was AVN.
Okay.
Yeah.
So recently.
Yes.
Recently shot with Gattuso in Intense. Please tell. Why was it intense?
Okay, well, when people say it was intense, I thought they meant like he has a monster
Yeah.
But it's actually like regular big.
Yeah, he has a normal size. Yeah.
Normal.
But
then he started using it, and I was like, okay.
Oh, so he knows how to put it up.
Yes.
Yes. People say that in the comments. That man knows how to.
The definition of if you know how to use it doesn't really matter how big it is.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so describe like what you're saying it's intense. He was beaten up. What moves was he?
He was
using?
physically beaten. Yeah. He was physically beaten up a little bit consensually. I liked it.
Yeah.
I like a little bit of rough sex, but he was slapping me around and. He got on like the tips of his toes and he was like crouching and really just like ramming me.
Wow.
Which had never happened before. That was,
give it, yeah.
I feel like that was a good introduction to boy girl collabs.
Was that the first one?
Okay, well I've done like a little bit of like threesomes, foursomes here or there, but yeah, he was one of my first.
Wow, that's a crazy one to go first.
Did you reach out to him or did he reach out to you?
I reached out to him. I slid in his DMs.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, Gattuso, what do you think?
Yep.
And he was like,
he was just like Asian body. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, if you see like who he works with, I don't know if it's because he's near or he's in Asia a lot, or he just has like loves Asia.
Yeah.
I think the majority of women that he works with are Asian.
I think so.
Yeah,
You can tell by the smile on his face if you look at the photos.
Yeah, he's loving it. He's loving the work, dude. And so what made you go like, okay, I'm going to start doing boy girls? Why was that the transition for you? You're just like, just ready?
I was just ready. I was horny. I was tired of dipping my toes in and I wanted to jump in.
Yeah. What were you doing before?
I was doing a lot of like solos, girls, and I had my like comfort stunt dip, who's like my best friend that I've known for 10 years. And he would just be like the person I would go to if I wanted.
And not even a dating guy, just a guy who's comfort.
I mean, he's my best friend, but yeah.
Wow,
He's
what
just, like, my
a
stunt dip.
best friend.
Yeah, I know, right?
Threesomes together.
What a best friend.
Them to put on them, make money. And you pay him, obviously.
I pay him, of course.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so were you friends with him before you started on?
Oh yeah, I've known him for 10 years.
10 years, and so you guys before the stunt, was he just a friend?
Yeah, yes.
Did you ever before?
I lost my virginity to him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you've kind of, I guess you guys have kind of been on and off for 10 years, and you'll hang out and whatever. And when the first time you proposed to this stunt, you go like, hey, you want to be my? Was he kind of like?
Pretty much exactly what I said. He was just like, yeah.
Of course.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Does he show his face?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
And now does he have his own?
Yep. Now he fucks other people, and yeah, this year we're both like going out and doing collabs.
Oh, sick. Good for him. Good for you.
5 hours ago, I had Girthmaster in me. So.
Oh, wow. So we're getting,
I'm like in recovery mode.
Dude, freshly stretched.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't queef on us.
I'm trying not to.
Was that the thickest you've ever had?
Yes. Is there anything thicker than him?
I don't know.
Alive?
I mean, there's probably, you, Dread and him might be.
That's on my to-do list.
Yes.
Yeah. Will you do it in the butt? Because a lot of people do.
I'm gonna do it in the butt.
Really?
I think I am gonna try to do dread.
Wow. So you guys have a date planned?
Yes.
Wow. Look at this.
Dude, you're working. You went from no boy girl.
You guys are funny. Oh, fuck, I'm close to fireballs. What the fuck? I'm about to level, 203, bang, and then bang. Bach, okay, as expected, Bach. Oh shit. Fire starter?
Now I'm gonna take on the biggest.
If you're gonna do it, I
You're
feel like
gonna
you
do
might
it.
as well jump in.
That seems like the winning mentality.
Yeah, you're like going through the Mount Rushmore of current like dudes to bang.
Yeah, wow. So, and also, yeah, that is really a thing. You're like getting like the superstars of the men in the industry, like Girth, probably someone